Good morning, world. It's Ivan America here again. It's 2 o'clock in the morning. Ivan, where were you? I haven't heard from you in a while. Yeah, the last couple of days I was tired. Hence why I didn't make a video in the evening yesterday. I didn't make a video in the morning yesterday because I was very tired. I was really, really tired. These videos are starting to wear me out, obviously. Hence why what? Hence why I took a little break off making videos the past couple of days. Obviously. I'm mainly saying this. You guys better enjoy this series while you still can, because once I'm king, I'm peace out my wife, and you're not going to be saved. You're going to be left behind. You chose to turn my wife into a whore and have her fuck all these guys and cost the rest of my life. You forced me to have sex with my own stepmother and turn me into a porn star. And have me die. You're also going to pay too. And you sabotage my channel. You're also going to pay too. When I'm king, I'm not making any meals for you. You're left behind. You're not safe. Because even though I'm pumping out videos for you, you're listening to me. You don't see my face. You guys haven't seen my face in what, almost 9 months now, man. Except for the one video. We haven't seen you in like 9 months. Yes, I made my final announcement a good almost going on a year now. Last November, I made my final announcement. Yeah, I'm out of my word. When I said I'm piecing out for good, I really mean it, man. You're not going to be safe when I'm king. And you better heed my warning, rule. You better fucking enjoy this stupid listening series while I can. Because once I'm king, I'm peacing out with my wife, and you're not going to be saved. You're going to be left behind. Yeah. So let me talk about Zaynus as usual. Because I love talking about it. Because Zaynus is in a couple. I love talking about the Great Escape and him Vampire movie. They're unique. But at the end of the day, those movies are not. I'm not excited for those movies compared to Zaynus. I'm most excited for the Zaynus movie. The Zaynus movie is the best. Will be the best movie out of my 5 movies. And it's only in a couple of years. I don't know, 2026 around there or 2027 around there. I'll be starting the process for Zanus. Probably 2026 around there. I'll be starting the process for Zanus. I'll be hard at work in the office in my nice building, my nice studio, my nice studio. What? My nice studio office like Gran Turismo. Remember that beautiful property line you guys saw? Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, I'm gonna tell the architects I want it to be exactly like this. Me and Vij are gonna own this beautiful property of land, like 30, 40 acres of land. Remember how you saw that big land? That's about like 30, 40 acres. What you saw, huge. Yeah, I'm gonna own a. You saw the yacht. You saw the jet. You saw the jets. Yeah, I'm gonna own a beautiful property land like that. Renovated, nice gardening work, nice landscaping. Yeah, you saw the beautiful lights in the building at nighttime. Yeah, I'm gonna own a beautiful property land, man. Yeah. So I gave it some thought. For Peter Jackson's royalties, I'll just give him 0.6. Considering he's really, really big and he directed Lord of the Rings, I'll just give Peter his 0.6%. I'll just give Peter his 0.6% because he's big, and I'll give Mel 0.5. Whereas the actors, I'm not going to do that. The actors, if I make more, they make less. Because I don't want these actors ripping me off, man. Whereas for Peter Jackson Mel Gibson, I don't mind giving Peter 0.6%. He's really, really big. He's small compared to me, obviously, but he's really, really big. Because he did Lord of the Rings, he did that Billionaire Empire, and he's big, I'll just give him his 0.6 regardless of the sales. So if Peter makes even 350 million in royalties or even 400 million, it's not a big deal. 380 million dollars in royalties, not a big deal. But the actors, I'm not going to do that for them. The actors, if I make more, I reduce their amount because I don't want these actors to rip me off. Yeah, but you gave Peter 0.6. Yes, you're not Peter Jackson. You're not as big as Peter Jackson. Hence why I'm not giving the actors. Peter Jackson's much bigger than guys like even Keanu Reeves, man. He's bigger than all of them by a long shot. He created the Billionaire Empire, Lord of the Rings, the best movie shows ever made. You're not him. Hence why I'll give Peter 0.6. To keep him happy, obviously. That way he doesn't get mad, obviously. Just give Peter 0.6 to keep him happy. Considering you and Vij, I don't know, me and Vij are going to make like 55, $60 billion off the movie alone, and another $50 billion of the merch, give Peter his nice 0.6% of the profits. I could give Peter a piece of the merch, but if you do, you're being way too generous. You see what I'm saying? Like, he doesn't contribute to the merch. That's why I'm not going to give him a piece of the merch. 0.6% of the profits is good enough. But make sure you tell Peter's agent he gets 0.6% of the profits, not the gross. If you give Peter 0.6% of the gross, he's gonna make like $1.3 billion or something crazy, man. And without being with your generous, he's ripping you off. Even it's still pocket change, but he's now ripping you off, and you're being way too generous. Give him a good 0.6% of the profits. He'll make his like 350, $380 million in royalties. Peter Jackson sound like his 400 million deal, man. It's a $430 million deal, something crazy, man. A massive contract. Mel Gibson signed like his $250 million deal. 240, $230 million deal Mel Gibson signed. They both signed massive contracts. Just give Peter 0.6 because he's really big. Give him 0.6 that way, keep him happy. Considering you and me, you're gonna make tens of billions. Give Peter 0.6. I won't lower it to 0.4 for Peter. I'll just give him 0.6. And Mel, I'll just give him 0.5. But the actors, I'm gonna lower it because you don't want these guys ripping you off, man. If an actor walks away with $200 million, you're now being too generous. He's ripping you off. Keep the actors around that 100, 110, 90, 80, 70, 60, 50, $40 million range for the royalties. For all the ranks of the bigger acers. Keep them around that range. That way they don't rip you off. Hugh Jackson told me, Ivan, like, I recommend you don't give. He might give me, says, Ivan, don't let these actors take advantage of Ivan. You're the main show. Yeah, they're Hollywood actors and they're big. And they built some buzz. But yeah, it's all about you. It's all about you and VJ, man. You guys are the main show. Do not let these actors rip you off. Yes. Do not let the Hollywood actors rip you off, man. Hence why for what? For Keanu Reeves, if the movie does more, I'm going to lower his amount to 0.2. He'll still make his $100 million guaranteed, $190 million in royalties. It's good paycheck for him. And Hollywood doesn't make that. He makes like 15, 10, 20 million for his movies, 30 million for his movies. Except for The Matrix. For The Matrix, I heard Keanu Reeves made $250 million. But I heard he put some of that money towards special effects and paying some of the crewmen their like $1 million salary or something like that I heard. Yeah, Keanu. Warner Bros. May be stupid enough to overpay you because, in my opinion, Keanu Reeves isn't worth $250 million. Even in Hollywood, he's not worth $250 million. Warner Bros. Was just stupid to pay him that money. Don't hate me, Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is not worth $250 million for a fucking movie. You see what I'm saying? He's not worth that. Even in Hollywood, he's not worth that. Warner Bros. Was just stupid enough to pay him that money. $100 million, yes. $150, but $200, you're overpaying him. You're being stupid. Warner Bros. May be stupid enough to pay you that crazy $250 million. I'm not going to pay you that, Keanu Reeves. You got your $59.5 million in salary and bonuses, and you get a good like 100, 110, 90, $80 million in royalties. So that's a good paycheck for Keanu Reeves. He signed like his 130, 140, 150, $160 million deal. That's a good paycheck for him. That's a good paycheck for Keanu Reeves. I'm not going to talk about The Great Escape. The Great Escape is in a good 9-10 years from now. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'm going to focus on Zaynus because Zaynus is only in a couple of years. I don't know, 4 years from now, I'll be hard in the office with my wife, with Peter Jackson or Mel Gibson. Most likely Peter Jackson, most likely. I'll be hard at work in the office with what? With my directors and my team, obviously. Working on the Great Escape movie, the Zaynus movie, obviously. So Peter Jackson, I'll pay him his $85 million in Canadian money, which is 106 million New Zealand money, and I'll pay Mel Gibson 56 million, which is like 46 million American money for Mel Gibson. I think Mel Gibson lives in New Zealand too. If he lives in New Zealand, he'll make more. He'll make his like $60-some million. And I'll give Peter 0.6% of the profits, regardless of how the box office sales. Because Peter Jackson's big, man. Pay him more money, that way he works harder for you. I won't reduce his amount. I'll just give him his 0.6%. Whereas the actors, I'll reduce their amount. But Peter Jackson, I'll give him 0.6, keep him happy. And Mel Gibson, I'll give him 0.5. So Peter signed like his 430, 400, guaranteed 400. He's going to make 300. If I give him 0.6, he's going to make his 300 million plus. 300, 330, even 50 million, 360 million in royalties Peter Jackson will make with his 106 million salary in New Zealand money and bonuses. And he signed like his 400, like 50, 430, 460 million deal for Peter Jackson. It's a fat contract, man. Now, Mark will be high enough for him. If his agent wants a piece of the merch, man, look, man, Peter Jackson's not getting a dime off the merch. Because I'm already paying you more than enough money, man. If he gets greedy, Peter, I know that feeling. You smell blood in the water and you want to make more money. I know that feeling. It's a good feeling. You want to make as much as you can, Peter. You're now being a shark. Yeah, but Ivan, you're being a shark too. You're gonna make tens of points off your movie, yes. And I'm giving you a piece of my profits, a piece of my royalties, obviously. Whereas if you were in my shoes, you wouldn't even give me a piece of your royalties. You know, Ivan, if I was in your shoes, I'd pay your flat 100 million. I wouldn't give you a piece of royalties, yes. And I'm nice enough to give you a nice 300, like, I don't know, 50, $30 million in royalties, excluding your 106 million salary with your bonuses. I'm giving you a good deal. Don't like my offer, Peter. You're more than welcome to work in the hall and make less money, be a dirty slave. All right, it's a deal. Yes, I give you a good deal. And I'm giving you $2 million for the releases, which is like, I don't know, $4.5 million in New Zealand money. Peter Jackson's getting a reoccurring $4 million check in his bank in New Zealand money for all my releases. I don't know, by the time Peter Jackson finishes Zanes, he'll be pushing 70. Obviously, within those 15 years and 20 years of his life around there, I'm probably going to do a good 3 releases within those 15, 20 years. And Peter Jackson's going to make a good probably like $16, $17 million in royalties for the release. He signed a good deal, man, yeah. That's a good deal, Ivan. You're giving me $2 million. Yes, I'm giving you $2 million. Whereas the actors get $250,000. I'm not paying any of the actors. The actors all get their flat $250,000. As the moment you pay them more now, they're ripping you off. Because in Hollywood, they don't get a dime for that stuff. In Hollywood, actors get their flat salary, and that's it. Their flat salary, a piece of royalties, and that's it. They don't get a dime off the release and all that stuff. No, for the DVD sales, they don't get a dime off that, man. Except for the television actors. The television actors get money for reruns. Because television, but to be fair, television actors get shittier money. That's why, and because you have the ad doll, the actors get paid like 100, even 200 grand in royalties. 100 grand in royalties the actors get for reruns in Hollywood. Because I'm giving the actors $250K. Good deal. It's a good deal. It's a good deal, obviously. It is a good deal. See what I'm saying? As do not let the shark. If Peter Jackson gets greedy and he wants like 1%, I'm like, Peter, you're getting greedy. I'm not going to pay you 1%. I'm only going to take 1% of my money and divide it with yourself, my 7 team, and the actors. I'm not giving you any more than 0.6. That's good enough. If you give Peter 1%, he's now ripping you off. He's going to make like $500 million in royalties, excluding his salary. He's walking with $600 million. You're being way too generous. $600, $700 million. You're being way too generous. He's ripping you off. I am greedy and generous. I'm generous, obviously, but I'm not stupid. I'm not going to let these guys dupe me, man. Do not let Will Smith or Dwayne Johnson or Keanu Reeves and Scott Johansson all of them dupe you. Look, Keanu, if the movie does more, I'm reducing your amount to 0.2. You'll still make your like $100 million in royalties still if the movie does more. 90 million royalties. You still sign your massive 150, $140 million deals. You're going to walk away with like 70 plus million dollars in your bank. 75, $80 million in your bank. It's a good deal. Ben Affleck and Scarlett Johansson are going to walk away with 35 plus million dollars in their bank. 35, 38, 40 million, $44 million in their bank after taxes. For the whole movie project, yes, that's more money than what they make in Hollywood. Because you know how these actors dupe me. I'm nice to give you a piece of my royalties. I'm not stupid. I'm not going to give you guys like 1% each. You're crazy. If I give them 1% each, you're all walking with $500 million of my money. You're being way too generous. They're ripping you off. Because they're not worth that, obviously. Because in Hollywood, you're never going to make that kind of money. You see what I'm saying? Do not let these actors in Hollywood dupe you, man. You see what I'm saying? So I'm going to talk about my deal with Amazon. I'm going to change my offer. My deal for Amazon is $71.29 because there's something that really pisses me off taking 69% of the money. My deal for Amazon is $71.29. That way, me and Vijay can take our 70% because I'm going to go a bit over 1% for the Zanes actors. So I want to take home at least 70% of the pie. So my deal for Amazon is $71.29. I'm tweaking a little bit. I can easily be greedy and do 80-20, but I'm not gonna be greedy like that. I'll give Amazon a nice piece of the profits, but my deal is $71.29 for Amazon. That's a good deal for them. Me and VJ are still taking majority of the pie. Don't hate me, you know what I'm saying? That way, for Zanes, me and VJ are still gonna make our 70.8% of the profits. There's something that pisses me off about taking 69%. No, 69%, 68.8. That pisses me off. I want to take home 70%. Hence why my deal is $71.29. 29 with Amazon. I'll tweak it. That's my final offer. I'm not going to keep pushing it up. This is my final offer, Jeff Bezos. If you're watching this, when you watch this, 71.29 is a good deal. As realistically speaking, I should be taking home 80% and giving you 20 because it's at the end of the day, me, which is the main show. But I'm nice to give Amazon 29% of my money. They're still going to make their tens of billions. I don't know. Me and VJ make our, I don't know, 80 billion, 90 billion, 70 billion dollars off the movie and the merch. Amazon will still make their like 28, 30 billion dollars, 33 billion dollars in royalties. $35 billion in royalties, you know what I'm saying? $30 billion in royalties, $29 billion in royalties. Money that they'll never make for any other product. It's a deal. I don't care if it's 29%. It's 29% of your product is more than 50% of any other company. Yes, that's why Jeff Bezos. It's a deal. You know, say we're still making more money than even how much Disney makes. Yeah, the money that Amazon's making off my movies is money that Disney dreams of making. All the Hollywood studios would dream of making that kind of money. They don't make that kind of money for movies. In Hollywood, all their movies gross a couple $2 billion every year combined, right? Whereas one of my movies, like Amazon takes like $30 billion with the merch in the movie. It's a good deal. And me and VJ take like $70 billion. 80, 90, $100 billion, whatever it is. My guess is I'll pay probably a good $70 billion for the movie and the merch for Zanus. Amazon will make like $30 billion, $29 billion, $28 billion. That's more money than what they're going to make for any other product in their company. Yes. So my deal for Amazon is $71.29. That way me and VJ take our 70%. We'll make like 70.8% of the profits because I'm definitely going to go over a little bit over 1% for all my movies. Because I'm also giving my 7 team a piece of the profits too. That way, because considering the 7 team are your bosses and they're your team, give them a nice small piece of price, 0.1, 0.2%. Secondaries are going to make their nice like $6 million in royalties, and the other guys are going to make their nice $9 million in royalties, $10 million royalties. Give them a nice piece of pie the way they work harder for you and they're invested in you. If you give your 7 team a piece of profit, small time piece of profits, they're going to be investing in your company, obviously. And for Jon Favreau, I'll give him 0.2% of the profits. If the movie does more, I give him 0.1%. That way he doesn't rip you off. Because you got to be careful. If you give him 0.2% for all your movies and your movie grosses a lot of money, Jon Favreau can walk away with even $150 million royalties. You're being too generous. He's ripping you off. Keep Jon Favreau on that 100, 80, 90, 60, $70 million range. $50 million range. Even if he makes $60, $70 million, it's still more money than what he makes in Hollywood. You get your nice bonus, your nice salary, and you get a nice $67 million in royalties. It's still a lot of money. If he gets 0.1%, it's still a lot of money. More than what we'll ever make in Hollywood. You see what I'm saying? Huh? It's a good paycheck. You're making more than what CEOs make in Hollywood, John. No, Ivan, you're right. Yeah, I'm making. You're making more money than how much CEOs make in Hollywood. You see what I'm saying? Huh? Do not let these sharks dupe you. And then Dave Filoni, I'll give him 0.1% of the profits, which is a good $50, $60 million in royalties. And if the movie does more, give him 0.07. You'll still make his $40 million in royalties, $45 million in royalties. It's a good paycheck for Dave Filoni. So that way he doesn't rip you off. Because at the end of the day, the moment you have John walk away with $200, $150 million, you're being far too generous with John. And he might get mad. Ivan, why is it such a big deal to you? The more money you make, the more money I should make, Ivan. I'm like, no, John, I'm not going to do it like that. If the movie does more, I'm going to give you 0.1%. You're still going to make your $60, $55, $70 million in royalties. That's good enough. You're still going to make your $70, $80, $60 million in royalties. That's good enough. Because John's a greedy shark, he wants that nice. He wants to make like $150 million for my movie. I'm like, John, I'm not going to do like that, man. The moment I pay you $150 million, I'm being way too generous. You're taking $150 of my money. You're crazy. Keep John. I don't mind John making 100, 110. For Zane's, he'll guaranteed to make his $100 million. For my other movies, he might make maybe 70, maybe 60 million in royalties, 70 million in royalties. Still a lot of money. You still signed your $100+ million deal for all my movies. Jon Favreau will be making $100+ million for all my movies for salary and royalties. 120+ million at least for all my movies plus. He's gonna walk away with his $60+ million bank for all my movies. It's a good deal. Because in Hollywood, you're never gonna make this. And say, oh, it's a deal. Yes, I gave you a good deal. If you're greedy, John, and you want like 0.2, I'm not going to give you that. You have to be careful. You know what I'm saying? The fact that Scarlett Johansson took what? Disney to court, that's how I know Scarlett Johansson's greedy, obviously, and Peter Jackson's greedy. He took New Line to court. That's how he made his $250 and he still took New Line to court. That's how you know Peter's a greedy shark, obviously. He's greedy, obviously. But at the end of the day, they owed him the money. I don't blame him. But the fact that he made all that money and still took New Line to court, that's how you know Peter's obviously greedy. And Scarlett Johansson's greedy too. Hence why you gotta be careful for these sharks. If Scarlett gets angry, Ivan, why is it such a big deal to you? Like, 0.1% peanuts compared to how much you're making. Even if we make $7 million in royalties, it's nothing about how much you're making. I'm like, Scarlett, if you think you're gonna let me, if you think you're gonna dupe me and have me give you $7 million of my money, you're crazy. I'm not gonna give you that. No, keep Scarlett around that $50-40 million range for the royalties. That way she doesn't rip you off. If the movie does more, I reduce your amount to 0.07. You're still going to make your $40-45 million in royalties, excluding your rich salary that you got. You still sign your, $90 million deal. You're going to walk away with like $4 million in your bank after tax. That's good enough. But Scarlett wants to walk away with more. She wants to walk away with $55 million in her bank after taxes. She's greedy, obviously. I'm like, Scarlett, this is my final offer. If you don't like it, I can terminate the royalty deal. I can just pay your flat salary and your bonus. I haven't the deal. Yes, I gave you a good deal. So, I put all these actors in the pickle, obviously. Now, do not let the sharks dupe you. I'm going to keep saying this. Do not let the sharks dupe you. Keanu Reeves might get angry, too, because he's a greedy pig. The fact that what? Like, he signed a $250 million deal. He took all that money, obviously, whereas all the other actors made way less than him. Keanu Reeves is obviously a greedy shark, too. Be careful for the sharks. You know what I'm saying? Keanu Reeves might get angry. Ivan, why is 0.3 such a big deal to you, man? Even if I make $180 million, it's nothing compared to how much you're making. I'm like, Keanu, if you think I'm going to let you dupe me like that and have you walk away with $180 million, you're crazy. My deal is you get 0.3. If the movie does more than 1.1 billion people buy it, you get 0.2. You're still going to make your $90, $100 million in royalties. $80 million in royalties. You're still going to walk away with your $75+ million check in your bank. That's a good deal. Money that you don't make in Hollywood on average. If you don't like my offer, Ivan, it's a deal. Yes, I gave you a good deal. You have to be careful for the sharks. And Guillermo del Toro, I'll pay him $1 million I can pay a bit more. I can pay Guillermo del Toro because he's big. To keep him happy, I can pay him $1.5 million salary. At Star Production, I'll give him a $400,000 signing bonus. That way you keep Guillermo del Toro more happy, and I'll give him a $250,000 royalty check. Okay, Guillermo, I'll pay you $1.5 million salary at Star Production. And I'll give you a $400,000 signing bonus to work during pre-production. That's a good paycheck for Guillermo del Toro. And you get 0.01% of the profits, which is like, $5-6 million. Guillermo del Toro signed like his $7.58 million deal. That's a nice paycheck for an assistant director. Because he's pretty big, pay him a rich salary. That way he works harder for you. I'll pay Guillermo del Toro $1.5 million salary. And a $400,000 signing bonus. I'll pay him $1.9. I'll pay him about $2 million for my home movie. You get your $400,000 signing bonus, your $1.5, and your $250,000 bonus after the film is completed. Pay him a nice $250,000 bonus. That way he can use that money to what? To spend his money on some good stuff for his vacation. I'll take you and your immediate family, Motor, and Peter Jackson's family, and the 7 teams family on a 2-week vacation. Okay, guys, where do you guys want to go? I can have my accountant. He goes in the computer. Okay, guys, pick a resort where you want to stay. In Europe, in the Bahamas, in Jamaica, in Cuba. I can rent a nice resort booked for you and all your family members. Obviously, and I'll give you a $250,000 bonus. That way you guys can have some good money to spend for your family. Your $250,000 bonus is for you to blow. You can use that money to get some nice souvenirs for your family. Buy your kids nice clothes, your wife nice clothes. Buy your beer. You also get $2,000 gift card. If you guys want to get beer, you can use the $2,000 the gift card I gave you to buy your beer for your party. Because guaranteed they're gonna party up with their families on stuff. That's with your own money. The only thing that's paid for is your feeding and your hotel stay. That's the only thing that's paid for Peter Jackson and Mel Gibson and Guillermo del Toro and his family and the 7's family. That's my deal. So if you think I'm gonna pay your bills, you're crazy. Like, I pay you rich salary, you're paying for your own bills. I'm not paying your bills, man. It's your problems, man. Yeah. So my deal with Amazon is $71.29. That way me and VG take our 70%. Because guaranteed for all my movies, I'm going to go a bit over 1%. Maybe 0.2% over 1% around there. 0.1% over 1%. Because I'm giving 8 of my A-list actors a piece of the profits, as well as my 7 team. And the directors, it adds up. You're looking at, and Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni getting a piece of that. Yeah, it adds up. Hence what? My deal for Amazon is 71.29. That would mean we can make our 70% guaranteed. Because 69% bothers me. I hate taking 69, 68.8% bothers me. Hence why what? Hence why my deal is 71.29 with Amazon. And if Jeff Bezos doesn't like my offer, I'm like, Jeff, if you don't like my offer, I'll just release my movie online. You're missing out on billions. I have instant deal, yes. I put Amazon in a pickle. Either you accept my 71.29% deal, or you reject my offer and I lose my movie online. Obviously, but I told you I am not a fan of online streaming. I find Netflix, even though I love Netflix, I find it very unprofessional. When you watch television shows getting released online is not bad, but movies is very unprofessional. You pay and you watch, it's 1080p, it's very unprofessional. You're better off having your own 4K box set. Your own 4K box set. 4K is better than fucking 1080p online, man. It's better than 1080p online. See what I'm saying? Hence why I'm sticking to 4K Blu-ray for my company. And I also need to sell merch. Hence why I need to partner with Amazon to sell merch. I will sell my posters and my mugs. And I might perhaps sell t-shirts, but it's highly unlikely. I'm not going to sell toys. I'm just going to sell t-shirts. I'm just going to sell posters and mugs. That's good enough. Whereas t-shirts, I'm not going to sell. I'm not going to sell t-shirts. But Amazon will tell me, Ivan, why don't you sell toys? We can make more money, Ivan. I'm like, no, guys. It's more work for you guys. Posters and mugs is enough. Sell 6 posters. Have it come with 3 mugs. 3 to 3 mugs. That's enough for the merch. It's good enough. You have 6 posters to hang in your house. You get your nice mugs. I could give Peter a piece of the profits for the merch too if I want, but I mean because he's your director, I can give him a flat amount if you want. But I mean you're already paying him more than enough money. You can give Peter easily a nice $10 million if you want for the merch, but if you do that, you're being way too generous with Peter, man. He's not worth the merch. I'm not giving him pieces of both. He's zero. Only the actors getting a piece of the merch because they're my fucking stars. Whereas Peter's not my star. He's my director. Hence why I'm paying more money than all the actors, but I'm not giving him pieces of merch because he's not featured on the merch. But his agent might try and get Ivan. What about what about a small amount? What about a nice $10 million of the merch, Ivan? I'm like, no. I'm not giving Peter $10 million of the merch. He's not getting squat off the merch as what? He's not featured on the fucking merch. Why would I give him a piece of the merch? You see what I'm saying? Why would I give Peter a piece of the merch? It doesn't make any sense. He's not featured on the posters. Why would I give him a piece of the merch? It doesn't make any sense. Yeah, man. You see what I'm saying? Why would I give him a piece of the merch? It doesn't make any sense, obviously. See what I'm saying? Let's talk about Zayas now. Right? So let's talk about the casting. So I'm going to have John Boyega, Daniel Kaluuya, and Michael B. Jordan compete for the role of Tacitonius. But 75% chance I will choose John Boyega. Don't hate me, guys. 75% chance I will choose John Boyega is my guy. I think he's the best man for the role. John Boyega. But I'm going to have him fight for the job. I'm not going to just give him the role. John, even though you're the first man on my list and you're pretty much chosen, I don't want you... I want to see you... I want you to compete, man. I want you to fight for your job. I don't know where, but he destroys his audition, obviously. I'm like, holy shit. John Boyega's perfect for the role. And it appears like, yeah, Ivan, John Boyega was born to play this role, yeah. Even though Daniel Kaluuya looks more like me, I can't really see him as Tacitonius. Every time I think of Tacitonius, I picture John Boyega in my mind. Because he has more of that sarcastic look. But Daniel Kaluuya looks more like me. He's from Uganda like me, obviously, and he's dark like me. But I can't really see him as a sarcastic Joker compared to... I can picture him as a sarcastic Joker, you know what I'm saying? But I can't picture him as a sarcastic Joker compared to John Boyega, you know what I'm saying? John Boyega seems like the better man for the job. And then Michael B. Jordan's really good too, but the problem with him, he looks too American, you know what I'm saying? But if Michael B. Jordan's not chosen for Zaynus, I might consider him for The Great Escape. And I'll pay him the same amount of money I'm willing to pay him for Zaynus. I'll pay him his $9 million salary, and I'll give him 0.01% of the profits for The Great Escape, because he's an A-list actor. Whereas Zoe King, if she's not chosen for Zaynus, which she most likely is, and Ariana Grande is pretty much got the job, I can have her be Michael B. Jordan's wife in The Great Escape. This is the couples in the movie, obviously. They try to get out of the organization, and they get killed. Obviously. And I'll pay Zoe King her like $3.3 million for The Great Escape. For Zaynus, if she's chosen, I'll pay her $3 million, 0.01% of the profits. But for The Great Escape, she doesn't get a squat. She gets her flat $3.3 million salary, and that's it. 3.3. Pay her a bit more. Because I'm not giving her a piece of royalties, you can pay her a bit more. Pay her 3.3 million for The Great Escape, but she doesn't get a piece of the royalties. If she gets greedy and her agent wants a piece of royalties, I'm like, look, man, Zoe King, you're a B-list actor. Yeah, I did Kissing Booth, yes. Kissing Booth was a hit, but it's an independent movie. You're a B-list actor. I'm not paying you any more than 3.3 million. You know what I'm saying? If she wants more money, I'm not paying her more money. 3.3 million is good enough. You're not going to make this in Hollywood. In Hollywood, you make her a couple $100,000 and that's it. Alright, Vince a deal, yes. I might consider her as Michael B. Jordan's wife in the Great Escape. We can do that if you want. I'm thinking, because Michael B. Jordan, I can picture him as a secret agent. I can also picture Zoe King as a secret agent too. She has that look. I can picture her, because by then she'll be like 30, in her 30s. Michael B. Jordan will be in his late 30s. Yeah, you can picture them all as secret agents. See what I'm saying? Yeah, but guaranteed I'll end up choosing John Boyega over the other two, because I think he's better for the role. It's either going to be John Boyega or Daniel Kaluuya, but something tells me I'm going to choose John Boyega over Daniel Kaluuya, because I can picture him more as Hesitonius. I think John Boyega was born to play the role of Hesitonius. Even Peter Jackson told me, I haven't choose John Boyega. He's your man. You know what I'm saying? Even though Daniel Kaluuya looks more like you, I can picture John Boyega more like Hesitonius. Yes, he has a sarcastic look. Yeah, I can picture John Boyega more the role of Hesitonius than Daniel Kaluuya. You see what I'm saying? But Daniel Kaluuya was really good for the movie too, though, man. Daniel Kaluuya, I'll pay him 8.9 for Zanus, and I'll give him 0.01% of the profits. I'll match his salary with John Boyega. He's a rising star. And John Boyega, I'll pay him 8.9. I'll give him 0.1% of the profits. And then Michael B. Jordan, I'll pay him 0. I'll pay him 9 and 0.1% of the profits if he's chosen. Obviously, and I think John Rhys Davis is perfect for the role of Eli. I'll have him compete with Bernard Hill for the role of Eli. Pay John Rhys Davis $5 million and give him 0.01% of the profits. I'm gonna make sure my nutritionists give him a good schedule, because he's getting old, obviously, and then I'll have chairs for him when we have 5-minute windows when we're filming. That for John Rhys Davis, because he'll be in his like mid 80s when he films Zanes. He'll be old, and so you need to make sure he's well taken care of. John Rhys Davis and Bernard Hill, whoever I choose. Most likely John Rhys Davis. John Rhys Davis looks more like VJ. He's like, holy Sean, you're creative. You know what I'm saying? John Davis is perfect for the role of Eli. Yeah, Peter, he's perfect, you know what I'm saying? Holy Sean, you're creative. You know your shit. I'm like, yeah, Peter, you know what I'm saying? He's like, holy shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's my deal for John Rhys Davis. And then Bernard Hill, I'll pay him $3 million, and I'll give him 0.01% of the profits if he's chosen. That's how much I'm willing to pay Bernard Hill and John Rhys Davis for the role of Eli. But somebody tells me John Rhys Davis is a perfect man for the job. But the only thing that worries me, though, is his age, man. The last thing you want to happen is have him out. I know you have Christmas break, he goes home in Christmas break, and you find out later on that he passed away. Like, that's what really scares me. Because once you hit your 80s, you're near death. Don't hate me. Once you're near your 80s, you're now near death. That's what worries me. Peter Jackson, oh, don't worry, Ivan, he'll be fine. Just make sure he's well taken care of. Yeah, just make sure he's well taken care of. I'm sure my cover.